What you're about to witness isn't just a courtroom hearing. This is the moment a life-changing decision is about to be revealed. The judge has already written the verdict, but when the victim's family begins to speak, the entire courtroom falls silent. What really happened that destroyed an entire family? And will justice truly be served today, or will it only deepen the pain? Stay until the end, because what happens in the final 30 seconds will leave you shocked.
Statements as well as a video to be played. In addition to that, we've sent you a number of community impact statements over the last few days. At this time, I think it would make sense to start with the impact statements, if that's okay with the court.
You may go ahead.
You want me to stand? Stay.
Sir, you may stand or sit, whatever you wish.
Sounds good. Thank you for taking the time to listen to what I have to say regarding this tragic case involving Lily. My name is Jonathan D. House, and I am a police officer with West Hennepin Public Safety. I have served with West Hennepin Public Safety for over 21 years, and just during my career, I've been a patrol officer, a detective, undercover narcotics agent, and currently serve as sergeant and second in command. I've received 5 letters of commendation, an award of excellence, and a medal of valor, and I've dedicated my life to public service. On February 26th, 2025, will remain an unforgettable, tragic day for me the rest of my life. Throughout my 21 years of service, I've responded to numerous tragic incidents, but none like what I experienced that day. The scene felt surreal, felt like something out of a movie. I'd never witnessed such chaos and such sheer fear in people. I could still hear Lily's father, Eric, yelling at me to help his daughter the second I got out of my car. I was obviously the first one to arrive at the scene. It was immediately clear that this was a high-speed collision. And it's a common road that is normally used for people to go to school. So it was later learned that they were all going to school as a whole family. 4-year-old child Merrick was later found to have a skull fracture, and every family member sustained significant injuries. Emmy, Eric, Dominic, Jackson, Merrick, and Lily were all hurt. They were staggering through a debris field that I haven't not seen before. Parts everywhere. Everyone was staggering around except for Lily. For the first time in my 21-year career, everything seemed to slow down, almost as if it were a dream. I went directly to the vehicle and I found Lily unresponsive. I picked her up. She was limp. I checked for a pulse. I could not find one. I spoke with her, received no response. I carried her out of the SUV in my arms. Immediately began CPR. When additional emergency responders arrived, I then began the crash investigation. We're a small police department, so it's your baby, you know. Unknowingly, I had Lily's blood on my arm throughout the investigation until an officer from Orono Police Department pointed it out and offered to help me clean it off. And but I had no idea it was there. When I was talking to the family and doing everything, it was just horrible. During this time, the defendant, who I will not refer to by name, was disrespectful to the seriousness of the situation and to the crash scene. I had to instruct him multiple times to stop kicking debris from the roadway. He repeatedly asked how long this investigation was going to take. Based on my experience of narcotics investigations and as a detective, I knew taking a confrontational approach would not be effective. The chief who hired me back in the day had always told me you get more with honey than you do vinegar. So despite how difficult it was, I remained calm and professional. This incident has changed my life. At the time of the crash, my daughter was 11. I've been present at a lot of child death scenes throughout my career, but nothing has affected me more than this. After finishing my shift that day, I went home. I held my daughters and just cried. They asked me questions I couldn't respond. They were worried because their father, a police officer, strong person in their life, was completely broken. I am a single father, and I have 2 daughters who are my world. Your Honor, this was the weakest and most humbling moment of my life as I held my girls. Cannot stop thinking about the fact that Emmy and Eric would never be able to hold Lily. I was able to hold mine. In the days and months that followed, I began to withdraw from my friends and my family. I'm normally a very outgoing person. Instead, my alcohol increased. I found myself drinking alone, lying on the couch. I've always loved lifting weights, playing basketball, fishing, staying active, but I stopped doing all of those things. Although I know it's hard to believe, I'm not typically emotional. I found myself crying regularly. I struggled to sleep, and then I just drank to go to bed. September 4th, in the middle of the night, I reached out to my parents, and thank you. My mentor, retired Sergeant Todd Belter, for help. I was overwhelmed emotionally, and I was intoxicated. They came to my home immediately, 3 a.m. And that same morning, Sergeant Todd had already arranged an appointment with Dr. Emily Lugents, who specializes in treating the PTSD. And I have been seeing her weekly since then, and I've been diagnosed with the PTSD. I've stopped drinking, which has been a positive thing in my life. For 21 years in law enforcement, this has most likely ended my career. I cannot accept the fact that I have a daughter the same age as Lily. It haunts me every day knowing that Lily will never celebrate another birthday with her family or hug her parents good night. And I get to. So I appreciate you allowing me to give my statement, and that's all I got. So, yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Allard, you may invite the next person.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm Lily's uncle, Emmy's brother. On February 26, 2025, after a long day of stress, tears, unknowns, we had to wake up our then 8-year-old daughter to let her know that her cousin and her best friend on earth had been taken from us. Over the course of the next 4 days, we lived at the hospital, grappling with what and who had torn our world apart, watching our sweet Lily rest so peacefully, but knowing there wasn't waking up in her future. Surrounded by friends and family, cycling through our heads, just the various means to cope, until it was time, and Lily was removed from life support, and we had to say our last hugs goodbye. It was in that same devastating window of time that we witnessed the first of many moments where the defendant showed absolutely zero accountability or remorse, causing a disturbance at the Mound subway during an argument about the accident that took her life. Lily was supposed to spend that weekend at our house. He and her daughter were supposed to stay up late singing, dancing to Pink, The Wicked or the Descendants soundtracks, making art, and doing all the things little girls do while giggling their hearts out and enjoying time with one another, with one of each other's favorite people. Being sweet, innocent children, and Lily was the most innocent and sweetest of them. The next 2 weeks were a blur of emotional fatigue, impossibly trying to find anything else to put my mind to focus for even a second to escape the hell that we were living in. It didn't work. To this day, it rarely ever works. Any fun moment, like coaching my daughter's softball team to a title and watching all the girls celebrate, to spending a long weekend at the lake swimming with the kids, has carried with it some reminder that festers in the back of your mind. We don't get to see Lily and her friends celebrating any big moments. We can't join Lily in one of her favorite activities of swimming at the lake, and it eats at you in everything that you do. And on March 14th, I had to eulogize my only niece, 11-year-old Lily. That's not supposed to be a thing. I'm supposed to give an embarrassing speech at her wedding in 15 years, not writing down all my thoughts about Lily in the past tense. And why? Because someone else's negligence and blatant disregard for any other life than his own. We're 13 months since that funeral, a year of birthdays, a year of holidays, a year of family get-togethers, a year of going to movies, concerts, parks, a year of daily reminders to debilitate your brain, a year of anxiety crippling you in the middle of the night because you're awoken from a thought, a year of pain in the depths of your chest or a churn in your stomach because a memory just hit you out of nowhere, a year of witnessing what this has emotionally done to my daughter, a year of trying to discover a new normal, a year of no Lily. So a year later, we finally have quote-unquote justice. 44 months for shattering so many lives. 44 months isn't justice for a defendant who has shown no remorse. The defendant who in the police reports is bragging to his friends about getting away with killing an 11-year-old. By all accounts, shouldn't have been driving.
Sir, be quiet.
Stop lying on my name.
Mr. Iverson, you will have an opportunity to speak. You are not allowed to speak at this time. Be quiet. Sir, please continue.
By all accounts, should have been driving or had a valid driver's license if the prior offenses were punished properly. I had to listen to a Hennepin County public defender say these run-ins with the law came out of nowhere and aren't in the defendant's nature, that he wasn't a threat to society. That's not the case if you talk to anyone that knows or has known the defendant. These actions are who he's always been, who he was raised as, enabled and bailed out time and time again by grandma and those who are supposed to be raising him to be more than a screw-up, never holding him accountable. The litany of other pending felony charges on public record are testament to that. Never mind, these charges are all from a 10-month span starting abruptly after his 18th birthday. So while 44 months isn't close to enough time, inevitably when the defendant fucks up again and ruins more lives, and that is a when, not an if, because that's who he is and how he was raised, that he will do so as a convicted felon. Forever going forward, I will have Lily with me in my heart. And when I look up at the sky and see the sunset, I can tell my kids that Cousin Lily's painting a picture. I can tell them that is where the rainbows come from. I will strive to live like Lily as best as I can, knowing it's an impossible standard, but something I will try to hold myself to and all those around me. Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, can we approach very briefly?
Yes. You may go ahead.
Your Honor, I am Lily's Nana. For months, I thought I knew exactly what I wanted to say. I've rewritten this at least a dozen times. On February 26th at 8:09 a.m., I answered the phone with a cheerful, What's up, Miss Mimi? On the other end, a scream that
Interesting might be an understatement. This case has everything: conflicting narratives, emotional footage, legal complexity, and public pressure. But here's the real question for you. If you were on that jury, which side would you believe?